Hi everyone, long time no video, but I'm finally back with a new one for Hip Kit Club, and I am using the September Hip Kit and add-on kits for this layout. I am sick, so just bear with me. Hopefully I can make it through with no sneezing or coughing. I'll try and see if I can. So I'm getting started here, and I'm using a mix of some of the Finders Keepers papers from Amy Tangerine and documentary papers from Dear Lizzie that are in the main kit and the paper add-on kit. And I'm going to create a circle design. So I went ahead and did all this prep work with my Cameo before I started. And these cut files are designed by Kim Watson, that's on the team, one of the fellow design team members, and these are available if you sign up for a free membership on our website, on the Hip Kit Club website. That's not for subscribing to the kit, that's just having an account set up on the website. So you can sign up there, and that will give you access to the downloads, which will give you access to all the cut files that we have. And so this one is from a set, and it had a couple of different circles. So I went ahead and cut all of those from white cardstock. And then you can see that I cut some of the pattern papers, and I'm just layering those behind the cut files, and I didn't want to have to show you putting all of those together, so I just cut it right there. And I'm going to stitch around each one of the small circles. I'm just going to add some messy stitching around each one of those before I add it to the larger circle on the layout. So you can see it's not any kind of great stitching, it's just a messy circle. So now I'm going to start with the larger circle, and that's also one of the cut files, and I wanted to use that for my title. So I'm going ahead and spacing the circles out, and I like to put these down without any adhesive, so that way if I need to move anything around I can, just to make sure I get the spacing right. So you can see there it was a little tight, so I had to spread those out just a little bit more around the circle to get those to fit. And once I have them in place, then I can go and add my adhesive. And I just want to make sure that my photo goes in the right spot. And I love that photo of our daughter eating a gigantic hamburger. That was on a trip to, let's see, I think that was when we went to Texas back at the end of July. And it was at a restaurant that we stopped at, and she loved it, but it was gigantic. It was like the same size as her head. But I think she ate almost the whole thing, so it must have been really good. So now you can see I'm just adding some of my adhesive to the back of each of these. If you wanted to, once you had all these in place, you could go back and stitch again, do a big stitch around the circle, but I didn't want to, since I had already stitched around each of the circles. I didn't want another line of stitching going through. So I'm just going to add those with the adhesive and get them all in place. And I'm not sure why I didn't cut this so that you wouldn't have to watch me stick all of those on there. I should have taken part of that out, but oh well, we're done. That's the last one. So I'm going to start embellishing and adding my photos. I'm going to get that in place first. And just slide it just a little bit right there under the title circle. And of course I got something on my photo as always. So now I'm going to start adding a few more things. These are some crepe paper. There's a mix of wood veneer and chipboard pieces in this pack. And I just wanted to use the hello word to go there with my title. I like the word hello, and I like to use it on a lot of layouts, so that worked out perfectly. So I'm just going to put that right up there at the top. I like having that big element at the top of the page. And so now I'm going to add just a few things. I wanted to bring in some different textures with the chipboard, and I'm going to add a couple of those arrows from that crepe paper chipboard piece and just place those around in different spots there on the layout. And my ADD kicks in, and so then I switch to some of the little bits pieces from the Amy Tangerine Finders Keepers collection. And so I'm going to add some of those, and I didn't want to cover the centers of the circles that I added, so I'm going to add some of those bits around the outside edge, just kind of tucked right there in between each of the different circles. And I'm going to add a couple of different shapes, and then I'm going to also use some of those wood buttons from the Dear Lizzie documentary collection just around that outside perimeter of the circle. And I do add something to the center of the circle, so you'll see that in just a minute coming up. It's a little bit bigger embellishment than what I'm using right now. And so I'm doing the same thing with these that I did with the circles, just kind of getting those bits in place to make sure I have them spaced the way that I want them, and that I have the colors offset for each one so that I know the colors are together that match. And I really love that little ampersand button. I think I've had like 3 sets of these buttons, and I really wanted to hoard that one and not use it, but I think I've ended up using all 3 of those little black ampersands already out of the 3 packs that I had. So I'm just going to get the rest of those there in place. And I do go back later. I think once I finish up pretty much everything, I do go back and use my tiny attacher and staple those little pieces, just to have something else there and just for some added texture on the layout. And so here goes what I'm going to add to the center. And I debated back and forth whether I wanted to add these or not. But I really like the end look with the wood veneer hello on the left hand side, and these kind of balance out the right hand side. And these are just some wood slices that came with the Amy Tangerine Finders Keepers collection that are new, and they're really fun. And so I'm going to just put those around a few of the circles. And if you're adding these, you're going to want to use a good sturdy adhesive. Once these dry with the adhesive I'm using, they stay in place really well. You could use a hot glue gun if you wanted to keep those there. And so now I'm going to get these cute little stamps. These are from Ellie's Studio, and they're part of the color add-on kit. And I just wanted to add the word yum right there under the photo, and so I'm just going to lay those out and then pick them up with my clear acrylic block. And I'm just going to stamp it in black ink because I just wanted that contrast and for it to stand out right there. So you could see it really well over the pattern paper and with it being right there under the photo. I really like these stamps. I like the alpha and that it has the different little polka dots and stripes and things like that on the letters. It's a really fun stamp. And so I'm just going to get that on there. And I was glad that I didn't mess it up because I'm usually a really bad stamper. So I was happy that I got that on there and it looked right, and all of the stamps stamped out because I'm really bad about that too, not getting it all stamped. So I'm just going to add a few things here, some enamel dots and some more of the chipboard pieces and things like that. And if you haven't had a chance to check out these kits, you can visit the Hip Kit Club website and see the September kits. Our October kits also revealed today, which is September 15th. This video will be up in just a little bit, and then it's with my layout that's up on the blog tomorrow, so you can visit the blog to check it out. And I'm glad you joined me, and hopefully it won't be too long between my next video, but here is the finished layout and some close-ups, so I hope to see you next time.